Welcome to another episode. Today, two of our normal home cooks are going to be comparing two dishes side by side. One made traditionally from scratch, the other with a cheat or a hack that may appear in professional kitchens. Can they identify what those cheats are? Boys, number one is under the cloche. You can lift both.
3, 2, 1.
Hup.
Ramen.
Exactly the same.
2 bowls of ramen.
Oh, this is going to be a day.
This is going to be a day.
So, try A and then try B and see if you can spot any difference.
Looks-wise, the broth is a different colour.
It is the stock we're looking at.
Well, that is a very different stock.
It is a different stock. So, they're both delicious, right?
Yeah.
They are both very different. Feel like A probably tastes more meaty, it has more depth, and it's delicious, possibly more salty. B is clearer, cleaner, but you can actually taste, it almost tastes more vegetal. You can taste more things in it. I couldn't tell you which one I prefer even. Maybe this one?
I think I prefer the one that has more flavour, because that's what I want from a ramen, but I'm not sure if that's what a ramen should be, if what everyone else is looking for.
That still tastes
delicious.
Complex.
All I want you to do is scribble on the card which one you think has been cheated and what was cheated.
Oh, one more go.
What we've been very careful to do is avoid changing anything else between the two bowls except for the cheat and the hack. About a year ago, we did a version of this using lots of cheats and hacks, including things like smash powder. See if the boys could identify the difference then by watching the video up here. And I'm changing the rules to the point for each.
Oh, mate!
There's a point if you can work out which one has been cheated, and there's a point if you can work out what it is. And when I say cheated, I mean like the point of difference. 3, 2, 1.
I thought B was the cheat, and I thought the cheat was like an instant soup powder.
Ooh. I thought A was the cheat. I thought the cheat was making your own stock cube or frozen stock to put in at the beginning.
So you mean kind of batch cooking, make it and use it across multiple options?
Yeah.
In both bowls, we have used a seasoning sachet from instant noodles to keep it the same. The only difference is the stock. A took 30 hours to make with pig's trotters and pork bones. It was boiled down for ages, then strained off and reduced. And what you end up with is a wonderful gelatinous stock.
1 point.
That looks like that when it's cold. Now, that gives you mouthfeel and a wonderful, even as it's heated up, a gelatinous mouthfeel. B was just water with the sachet seasoning powder, like the first one, and 8 leaves of gelatin.
I wrote down jelly! Jelly!
Shut up!
So it is the boiling of the trotters and the bones that gives you that wonderful gelatinous mouthfeel, which is what makes so many broths so rich. And if you let both of those set up, they would turn pretty solid. Not completely.
I mean, like with my guess of instant soup, it was because I could taste a variety of things and I guess seasonings, and it was a little bit more delicate, but no idea that it was just a packet of seasoning and gelatin.
It's absolutely delicious, but A is still like a standout.
100%, and you absolutely can tell that it's had hours of love, but the other one took 5-10 minutes with gelatin and gives you that mouthfeel that you expect of a long stock. And you won't see it being done in ramen shops, but if you want to do it at home, you could get some of that mouthfeel just from gelatin.
But I was looking at the fat bubbles on the top of each, and they're both similar.
We deliberately skimmed the fat off of the bone one because otherwise it's a very different experience.
So far more fat bubbles.
Which is why
on the
we're
top
not calling it like a tonkotsu or something where the fat is emulsified into it because of the rapid boiling. It is as similar as possible, except one has all the gelatin from bones and pig's trotters. Bear in mind, you can't buy those in the supermarket. You have to get those from a specialist shop. They're dirt cheap, but you have to buy them. And it does take hours. So you get 1 point each. Because Mike...
Sorry, what?
Listen, Mike, you guessed which one was correctly cheated, but you got the wrong cheat because they both use instant soup. And Barry got the wrong soup, but he did mention the use of jelly as a...
No, he's talking about making a stock
I wasn't.
it down to that. That's not the cheat.
I didn't say how much effort.
Comment below. You have to back me on this. That is not what he was saying.
It is written.
Gelatin is specific.
Michael, you're embarrassing yourself now.
This is ridiculous. This is a robbery.
That's just a good point. Barry actually chose the wrong one and then described the wrong thing.
Yeah, no points.
No points.
Yeah! Justice! You can't take that front of me and take that away.
It was appealed. Mike takes 1 point. Barry 0. On to round 2.
Game freaking on then. This is a call out to every single one of you watching.
Over the past few years, tens of thousands of you have joined us to watch our full weekend-long live stream shows. This time, we're going for something bigger.
Yep, on the weekend of the 29th and 30th of June, we want to create the largest community-produced live show, which means we're going to need your help.
Here's our concept so far. After a fishing trip hits stormy weather, the Sorted Food guys are washed up on a beach in an undisclosed location with nothing but the clothes they are wearing, some leftover food rations, and a building sense of trepidation. That's because the Sorted Food community and production team have planned an entire weekend of cooking trials, food challenges, and activities for the guys to take on completely live.
Loads of you have given us some ideas, and we can now reveal the title of this show is going to be called Washed Up.
It works on so many levels.
Yeah, brilliant.
Sorted Food are washed up.
We have a beach and a cooking location, but now we need more of your input. What food, dishes, and ingredients would you love to see us cook with? What videos, challenges, and formats should we be doing? And we will be doing pass-it-ons, so we need some theme ideas for those too.
So click the link below to submit your votes and ideas, and every single week between now and the live broadcast, there'll be a new way for you to help steer this into making the most exciting, entertaining, and fun, crazy thing we've ever done.
Once again, the dates, 29th and 30th of June. Save them. Get stuck into the ideas survey below, and tickets are available now.
Ding ding!
Before any ideas have been made.
This is terrifying.
It's the right way to sell a show, though,
Kind
isn't
of
it?
excited.
Boys, number 2, lift the cloche.
Oh,
Risotto.
What have we cheated?
it looks exactly the same. Maybe this one's slightly glossier. Oh, wonderful. Oh, it unravels itself as you eat
it's a
it.
creamy
right?
red pepper risotto and
And a
that.
little tingle at the end as well.
So this is risotto with some mascarpone, some andouille, and some olive tapenade.
I think B tastes like it's got less going on.
I wasn't taken on a journey.
I think this is a standout difference.
Standout.
Mouthfeel, really glossy, really tastes and feels fattier.
It feels
but also
malty.
it's got more flavour, it's got more oomph to it, for sure.
Yeah.
This one tastes, in my opinion, a little bit thinner in not just flavour, but even texture as well and mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Having said that though, if I cooked this one up at home,
It's
I'd
delicious.
be really happy with it because it's really delicious.
See if you can work out which one has been cheated, A or B. Write that on your board, and I need a quick description or a word to explain what. Turn your board round in 3, 2, 1.
I think the B was the cheat, and I think it was made in a microwave.
I think B was the cheat, and I think it was made in a pressure cooker.
There are 2 videos that we have previously done. One was a microwave risotto. It is absolutely possible. And one is where we've cooked rice in a pressure cooker and it about
See,
half
we
the
do
time.
listen. We do listen.
We listen.
It's not those, is it?
You are both correct with B. That is the cheat.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Neither of you are correct on the method. A has just been made from scratch, and what you have is a beautiful, wonderful, glossy, starchy risotto. B was made 3 days ago. We're talking mise en place. The risotto base was made 80% of the way there, and then stopped, quickly chilled, and put in the fridge. So in restaurants, you can make a big batch of plain risotto with all your mirepoix and all the wonderful things.
And stock going in, stir.
Stir in the morning when it's chill and quiet, and then stop. And then you can use that base for 1, 2, possibly even 3 days with different flavours and different daily risottos, because guests aren't prepared to wait 20 minutes to make it from scratch.
Gotcha.
So in just 3, 4, 5 minutes, you can finish it to nearly damn perfect with whatever flavour you want. One day it could be wild garlic puree stirred through. One day it could be andouille, mascarpone and tapenade, and one day it could be something completely different again. Yesterday's leftover soup is a common addition to base risotto to get you to a daily dish.
I think
Wow.
that makes perfect sense because that one, 80% of the way there, and I would say that that one tastes 20% better.
It does, yeah. So how is the starchiness so much stronger in this
Yeah.
one?
We're not entirely sure because the ingredients, the method have been exactly the same. It would appear, and we didn't know this was going to happen because we've never done side-by-side comparisons like this, but 3 days in the fridge waiting for that finish, something happens to the starch that means it's not as silky. And that's been a surprise to us.
Yeah, because you've tasted these. Do you agree with our...
Yeah, absolutely. And what's amazing is I've worked in restaurants where we've done that. We've made the base mix and then you add wonderful ingredients, a nice garnish, and honestly, it goes out and it is stonking. But I've never had the side-by-side comparison to make that difference.
If you'd have just given us that, we'd have gone, well, this is a really,
Absolutely
really
delicious.
proper risotto.
So we're talking mise en place. And if you've got friends coming over for dinner, get your risotto done 80% of the way there. And then last minute, starters are done, you've cleared the plates away, quickly reheat it, add in fat, mascarpone or parmesan or whatever, a good flavour, and do your tapenade, yesterday's leftover soup, garnish it up, no one will know. That's how restaurants can serve 40 different tables risotto perfectly every time. Other examples, imagine you've got a dozen tables in the restaurant that all want poached eggs at some point in the next 20 minutes. You can poach a whole ton of eggs, get them pretty much perfect, take them out, ice them, and then they just need a minute back in boiling water, and then you can literally put like 8 in at the same time. You don't have to worry about swirling or not moving it or having it perfect temperature and cracking them in. You just get them all done ahead of time. Those kind of mise en place are critical in professional kitchens, but I think if you're hosting at home for 4 or more people, they're excellent cheats that I regularly do to make hosting easier.
I think like something I've learned from hosting and from doing this is doing the stuff ahead of time. Because as soon as people arrive, if you're trying to do
So stressful.
more than 50% of the dish,
More than
you're-
20%.
Yeah, you're in the kitchen all the time. You're stressing. It's really hard just to balance the right timings, let alone actually getting stuff tasting good and all coming out warm.
You both took a point, but only for the cheat, not what it was. Let's move on to round 3. Number 3, Mike is taking a slight lead, 2-1. Lift the cloche.
I'm really enjoying myself.
Of course you are. Oh.
There's an uncooked cookie. Ready?
1, 2, 3.
So get a little bit of everything.
Are the chocolatey balls on top the same as the chocolatey hockey puck? Okay. Wow. It's like a soured yogurty cream.
It's like a truffle mix.
Yeah,
Ganache.
Absolutely
Yeah,
delicious.
ganache. That's what it is. Ganache.
Chocolate ganache. Oh, I'm going to try individual elements now.
I mean, they look pretty identical. Is there one you prefer?
This is really hard.
I think it's the cream.
Okay.
Or the yogurt.
Oh, this is more moussey. Already you can see it's got more air in it. It's much more pleasant. It's much more subtle, but it tastes nicer.
You can taste the vanilla in it more.
Yeah. Hey, we're not supposed to be conferring.
Boys, you both scribbled an answer. Reveal it in 3, 2, 1.
I think the cheat was in A, and I think it used yogurt in the cream.
B, I think, is a homemade mousse. This is a cheat with yogurt, and I've said ice and sugar as well.
You are both correct with the fact that A is a yogurt, but they are both yogurt. A is also what we consider the classic version. It is classic like chocolate ganache. Almost Brigadeiros style, we've used chocolate and condensed milk.
Delicious.
Yeah.
We've used Greek yogurt with a little bit of vanilla to give you that slight sourness, and then the brittle. B is wholly vegan, using plant-based alternatives. It uses coconut yogurt, which still has all of those lactic bacteria added in afterwards to give you that sourness, but it is coconut yogurt. And the little chocolate balls is chocolate and coconut condensed milk. The brittle is actually the same on both. And the hack and the cheat came as a result of, do you remember when Jamie and I played hide and seek at Twickenham Stadium? I had the opportunity while I was there, because I was in the kitchen, to chat to the F&B manager. And they said that 100% of the desserts at Twickenham Stadium for all of the hospitality suites are vegan. Because the argument is, why make 2 different versions of something when you can just make excellent quality plant-based desserts?
Can't taste any difference in the ganache.
No, I can't
There
do
is
that.
a little bit of a coconut essence in the yogurt and the ganache, but it's still delicious. And the point is, if we hadn't served them side by side, you'd be equally happy.
Yeah.
But that's purely down to the texture of the mousse.
Yeah, I thought the mousse tasted
yogurt.
chefy in terms of it felt like something else had been done to it.
Now, there are lots of plant-based yogurts that aren't quite as good as this one. The reason it's so good is you've got the coconut fats in there to give you, again, that mouthfeel. And then they add in the same bacteria that gives you the same lactic tang that you get from Greek yogurt into the coconut yogurt. So it still has so many similarities, but there is nothing more frustrating than when people who choose to be plant-based or they are perhaps lactose-free get to a dessert menu and
they
they're
get
left
sorbet.
with sorbet,
Yeah.
fruit salad. A really good pro hack or cheat, and we've done it with silken tofu as well before, is
Yeah,
just to
massive.
make a selection of your desserts lacto-free or vegan. You don't have to put it on the menu, but then when someone asks, you can say, oh, that absolutely is.
As long as it tastes as good or better than the original,
And in this instance,
I'm all for it. I think it tastes better.
panna cottas, custards you can use with rice milk and soy milks and oat milks. There are so many different applications. Silken tofu we've used. In this case, coconut condensed milk and coconut yogurt.
Right.
So neither of you get a point because you got the wrong bowl
That's
and
all
the
right by
wrong
me.
conversation. Last round. Last one. We're sticking sweet. Lift the cloche.
Oh, okay.
Oh, a
This-
floating meringue.
These are baked meringues on top of delicious creme anglaise.
That looks like a creme anglaise. That looks more like a chowder.
It's true, that one is,
Yellower.
it's more saturated.
Yeah. Very clean, this one. And it's slightly aerated as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is aerated. Right, let me try B. It's more aerated. Well, that's throwing me.
Any difference in the meringues?
Oh, sorry, fair test.
No!
A, the meringue, it's more malleable and it has a chew to it. Whereas B, it's crispy.
But they're both delicious.
Yeah.
There's definitely a difference in the chowder.
It's super, super clean. It's almost a refreshing custard. It's so
really
clean.
nice, really light.
Scribble down which you think has had the change and what the change is. Reveal the boards in 3, 2, 1.
I've gone A is the cheat, and I think the meringue was made using marshmallow fluff, and then the chowder is also different, but I don't know how.
It's not chowder, but I know what you mean.
the creme anglaise.
I think A, and it's eggless.
Wow. You're both wrong.
What, completely and
Completely out.
A is the traditional one. It's made the same way you'd expect, separate out your eggs. And why it's a wonderful dish is the yolks are used in the creme anglaise and the whites are used in the meringue.
But it's barely that. The reason I thought it was eggless is because it's so pale.
B uses liquid egg yolk or liquid egg white, so separated out, bought in vast volumes. Now this does 3 things. It reduces food waste, it extends shelf life, so you've always got a convenient product there, and in some cases, for some people, it is also safer because they've been pasteurized. Lesser seen at home, and we always say, you know, if you're separating out egg yolks and egg whites, perhaps you're using the egg yolks for mayonnaise or for hollandaise or to enrich a gratination or a Welsh rarebit or something like that. We say keep the egg whites and save them for something else. You can put them in sandwich bags and freeze them when you've got enough of them. You can defrost them, you can turn them into something else.
So I've always seen these in supermarkets. I've never quite understood why, unless Hayley buys them for egg white omelettes.
Yeah.
But I don't get it myself because, again, I never need that much egg white or yolk unless I'm baking something.
Is it a convenience thing because you're not having to separate, or is it a food waste thing, or is
It's
it?
a little bit of each. So, when an egg is laid, it is a fresh product. You should use it within 28 days of it being laid. Whereas the egg yolk carton there, they're often have a shelf life of months and they're stored ambient until you open them. If you are preparing anything at home and you just want egg yolks,
Yeah.
then perhaps just buy the egg yolks because it will save you wasting the egg whites. Or vice versa, if you're making lots of meringues, lots of soufflés, lots of egg white omelettes, which many people do, then the egg whites might be more useful. Now, in professional kitchens, egg whites are also used to clarify stocks for consommé, and you need lots of it. In it goes, whisk it up, bring it up, it clears a stock. You're making meringues for pavlovas for afternoon teas. You're making creme anglaise to go across 3 different desserts. You're making litres of ice cream that only need the egg yolks. That's where, in professional kitchens, having them separate means you can buy what you need rather than having leftover or having to plan a menu to use the leftover.
And you save the time in cracking
You
tons
save the
of eggs.
time in the cracking. They are safe because they've been pasteurised, so they're also suitable for example, pregnant women or elderly who sometimes arguably shouldn't be having raw egg. At home, depending on what you're cooking, the same might apply. You don't have to buy it by the litre, you can get much smaller containers. Egg whites, commonly available in the supermarkets. Egg yolks, a bit harder to find, but because they're ambient, you can just buy them online and have them delivered if it's just the egg yolk you want. So it reduces food waste, it makes it more convenient and more safe. These are things that chefs do in kitchens, and bars actually, who just want the egg whites for sours, whiskey sours and stuff like that.
So in one of those, a litre has 40 egg whites and 65 egg yolks. How much do one of those cost?
So we got this from our veg supplier, who also do other things as well. £6 for a kilo of egg whites, so 48 egg whites.
Much better.
And then £9 for the yolks. They are
the eggs.
more expensive.
And less process in the kitchen. If the hack here is just replacing the egg whites and yolks with these, why is your one so much better?
Again, we're not entirely sure. We think partly the process of pasteurisation will change the product a little bit, but also the one made with the cartoned egg yolk is richer in colour. So they are a darker, richer egg than perhaps we're buying. 4 changes to traditional methods of dishes that are used sometimes in professional kitchens. Many of those you would think of adopting at home.
The prep ahead mise en place mentality is something that I tried to do more of anyway. I think that was just demonstrated further in the risotto, but I definitely like to play around with the ramen gelatin thing. The simplicity of that was mad.
Yeah, I think it's the one I could do at home the easiest. I have jelly at home already, and my ramens do need improving.
And it's not just ramen, you could add those to chicken stocks and jus and red onion gravies. Things that you would normally want lots of reduction and meaty goodness, you can add a mouthfeel with a bit of a cheat. Comment down below, were any of those useful to you? Which was your favourite? And if there's more hacks we should be exploring, add those too.